over here. You can see how I read chat on it. My magical stool. In the right coaster, of course. I'll put this here. Alright, just wait until I see myself. But hello, early viewers or people watching the rerun of this, which could be myself. Alright, there I am. Well, wait, let me make sure the audio is coming in. That's a yes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ours Trains. My name is Corey, and welcome to Sunday Run Day number 50. I completely forgot until I was just saying that there. I had wrote it down earlier that this is the 50th stream, of course, and it's been on my mind the past few days. I wish I had something fun to celebrate, but you'll notice I'm in a slightly different angle. The tripod that I have been using, the head on it just does not stay tight anymore. It was like a little hexagonal wrench thing, but I tried doing that just a few minutes ago, and it won't stay tight. So luckily I have this little shelf right here. I can just put the phone on, and we mostly get the same angle. So anyways, though, I hope you all are having a great night. It is snowing here in upstate New York in the Saratoga Springs area. So, yeah, anyways, we got Carter. Well, we got so many people to say hello to, which I'll get to in just a second, everybody. But yes, this is Sunday Run Day number 50. I wish I brought my guitar down, but the problem is I really do not know enough. I know maybe one or two train songs to play. And the idea was like, oh, if somebody donos, then I'll play a train song. But, you know, if I was to get any more than two donos, then I'd be like, I'm kind of out of train songs to play, everybody. So anyways, though, I guess our itinerary for tonight is to talk about the 50th stream of Sunday Run Day. Some of the new locomotives you might have seen if you've been watching the short side of Ours Trains, you know, the shorts videos I put out. We got layout, power issues, Delaware and Hudson 4085, and the brand new Delaware and Hudson Railway Historical Society. So we got a lot to talk about, as well as Amherst too. But anyways, we got a lot of people swinging in tonight, of course. So we got LGR, we got CJ, we got my dad, hi dad, we got Devon McKenzie, we got Great DNH, Trainman 1993, New York Central Railroad fan 5345, Rose Jewel Railroad Candair, we got my boy Carter, we got my boy Dennis, N-Scale Train Boy, we got Train King 79, and many more to come in. So yeah, again, hope everyone's having a great night. Again, if you like the stream, make sure to smash that like button down below or wherever the like button is in your screen orientation and all. But yeah, it is weird to think that it is the 50th stream. Again, if you watched last week's stream for Sunday Run Day, I noted that it was I think again October 18th, 2020 will be the 5-year anniversary since I've been doing streams. So it's certainly an interesting year for Ours Trains, of course. And then once 2028 rolls around, that'll be the 10th year of Ours Trains, which I'm not quite ready for. So yeah, anyways, again, hope everyone's having a great night. Of course, it's weird to think, and that's what I love about the fact that I've been doing 50 streams and all, is that it's kind of like a fun way to, I don't know, catalog what's going on with the layout or document what's going on in my life for your lives and all the fun conversations we have. So it's like a neat, just last night, you know, I've been working on putting out some videos for you guys. And one of them is Ours Trains blooper reel. I've got a lot of bloopers and stuff from the past few years, and it's fun to watch the old streams and go back in time and see the derailments or the me having tongue twisters or Coreyisms, as my parents call it, or other funny things that happen. So, yeah, anyways, I saw a few more people come in since I started my Corey's Talking Tangents there or whatever. Great DNA, or Dennis, I see, look, we're already starting off strong. There we go. There's one. Dennis says I'll be around in 20 minutes eating dinner. Yeah, I always seem to be around dinner time for many of you folks here. Usually I have dinner around 5 or 6. So I was like, oh yeah, if I do it at 7, then it'll be great for me. But yeah, I find a lot of people like, oh, it's either, you know, people out in the West Coast or all over the country like, oh, maybe this ain't the best time. But anyways, though, Great DNH says, did you make it to the Utica show today? I know the snow might have hindered that, but I didn't see anything till I was almost home. No, I did not get out to Utica today. In fact, the snow didn't start for us till around, I don't know. Wow, the cars are driving really slow. But I think the snow didn't start to us till probably about 2 hours ago, I'd say. But I just had other stuff going on and was also working on. Oh, let me see if I have a picture of it. I know Dad told me the exact thing what to do to hold it up nice and slow so you guys can see it. But Mom and I are working on another kit building. Let me see if I have a good picture of it. So I cannot remember the name of the company, but it was something about, or maybe it was a blue. Okay, I won't remember for the life of me. But they go to the Amherst train show and they make very nice kits. So anyways, this here is a store that we're working on building. So it's a hardware store, but really could be any store. So this is it here. This is HO scale. It's not going to go on Littleville because there's no room, but I'm working on collecting buildings for the next HO train layout I do. So that's kind of what it looks like there. What absolutely made me go crazy over it was the enclosed staircase on the outside. It just feels so real and like something you'd see for a building in either Pennsylvania or just New England or Northeast America, or especially in New York, you know, along the old railroads and stuff in these tiny towns. So that had that small store feel. And let me show you what the building should look like by the time we're all done with this. So it'll look a lot like this. And I love that. I saw it at the train show and I was like, oh my goodness, that is too cool. So let me see if I can swipe it all. So that's the back end there. It has a wraparound porch. Let me just get to the stairs there. Come on. There you go. So you can kind of see what it looks like. So it's a pretty neat little building. I picked it up for a pretty decent price. But I can't wait till it's done. So it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, I guess on the topic of Amherst, again, if you weren't here for last stream, I'm planning on going, knock on wood, going to Amherst only for Saturday. I'll be there all day with my friends Tanner and Jamie. It'll be their first time going to the show, which will be a lot of fun. I can't wait to just watch them lose their minds because of how overwhelmingly fun and big the train show is. So we'll have a great time together. And I'll bring a little bit of cash with me in case if I see something cool. But I've kind of already spent my Amherst money on the engine behind me there, which we'll get to in a little bit, of course. So yeah, I'll be going around looking to find some fun stuff, of course. See friends, meet subscribers and that stuff too, although I call you guys my friends. But meet guys who are selling trains, model train businesses, all that fun stuff. So that's what I like about the train shows. The only thing I don't like about Amherst is it's a long drive for me. I think it's, a lot more people have it much longer, but I think it's like 3-ish hours for us. So yeah. Anyways, a few more messages came in. Let's see. And New York Central Railroad fan says, went to the Utica show today and got some stuff. Oh, very cool, very cool. Train Nerd 97 says, hey, Corey, my man, happy Sunday evening. Happy 50th. That's what I'm going to call tonight. I wish I had a fun thumbnail for it. I just had the engine that is behind me there, which we'll see in a little bit, of course. So we got Caboose 1973 checking in. We got Thomas Train saying, Corey, you need the Lionel 773 Century Club Hudson. Well, I got the 773 behind me, so really it doesn't matter what other 773 I get. This one's like the pretty dang nice. Is the Century Club one the one with like TMCC or something? Because that would have came out in what, 2000, 2001, something like that. So let's see, where did I leave off? Great DNH says, yeah, fits perfectly with Northeastern architecture. Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially, I'm going to try to weather it just a little bit. Like, not like using paints on it, but just use some chalk dust and all that, like, blacks and browns, to kind of make the building look old. Because let's say, in theory, this will be on a layout that takes place in the 70s. Let's say that building was probably built in the 1890s, 1900s, sometime around there, maybe 1910s, as youngest as it gets. Still, by the time of the 50s, 60s, 70s, that building is from like 40 to 60 years old and all that stuff, right? So it naturally kind of has some wear, especially if it's in a kind of ghost town, where a lot of those little ghost towns and stuff, the buildings are either abandoned or just not that well kept up anymore because there's really no business. So I kind of look at making that building just a little bit dirty, but not too dirty. Like, it's got weeds and vines and trees growing through it or around the sides and all that stuff. Oh, you're right, LGR. I forgot to bring Bob back. I'll go get him in a sec. Yeah, right. I moved him back after the stream because I'm like, I'll clean the tops of the buildings a little bit. We got Case Fan 03 checking in. We got Ken saying, looks like something from Little House on the Prairie. I guess I can kind of see that. I can see that. Let's see. Thomas Train says, I have a Lionel Big Rugged 773 Century Club Hudson. I don't know who made it. I guess wouldn't it be Lionel? If it's a 773. Oh, is this like a model or is this the actual functional? Like, is this like a little scale model or something like diecast? Or is this like, some of these trains and that stuff? But let's see. Yeah, I'll have to get Bob in a little sec. We got Burnsy back again. Burnsy's O-scale trains. Ours trains return. I guess it seems like it for the next few weeks and stuff. I know, I'd love a post-war 773 too. Doesn't any old train go for a lot of money, especially 700Es and all that stuff? So, yeah. Anyways, though, what did I have next on my little docket? So I guess I'll have to show you guys the new engines. It fell on the floor, so that's why I'm looking down. Let me get it. So yeah, anyways, again, if you're just swinging in, welcome to the 50th Sunday Runday stream. Make sure to smash that like button if you're liking the stream. But we got to talk about the new engines in the collection. I did 2 videos on these, one for each locomotive. One will be coming out this week, and the next video will come out the next week, of course. I don't quite know which one people want to see first, but the first engine I'll have to show you guys is this little fellow, actually pretty big fellow right here. I think that's exactly how I started the YouTube video too, but isn't it beautiful? If you've been watching the Ours Trains shorts videos, this is a Williams by Bachmann 773 Hudson, New York Central. So it is awesome. It is big. It's got the die-cast metal tender, die-cast metal engine. It's got great weight, great traction tires too, so it's really good at pulling. So I'm trying to show it. Again, sorry for the oh wait, I forgot. I can just turn the camera around. That makes it so much easier. So yeah, this is a awesome engine. It is killer cool, and it's really well quality built. It's got good detail for it, especially at, cutting quite the price in half from purchasing an original 773 or even a Lionel rerun. So this one came out in 2008, and just like I'll say in the video once you go watch it, that Williams came out with these engines in mind, not only to honor the originals, but also as a way to reintroduce the 773 to the market so people could get this engine at an affordable price. So we'll be running that engine in a little bit. Again, the video's got a whole lot more, and then I'll show you guys quickly the other one. Chat's going by really quick. Let's see. NYCR fan says, bought a Lionel post-war cattle car. Now I'm waiting for Menard's transition track so I can attach the thing. Very cool. I know, Jeffrey, I grow up like that. I just decided, hey, since I don't have to be conductor for a little while, I can let the beard grow out, whatever beard this may be. But also, so anyways, let me get the box. I'm trying not to crush the crossing behind it. So this here, if you've been watching the shorts videos, is another new engine you'll see. The British invasion has begun. This is, okay, let me get ready, because even in the YouTube video, it's an incredibly long name. This is a DAPL Great Western Railway. I don't know why it's 6300, because that is certainly not the number. It's 5330. 260 Mogul steam locomotive in the British Railway scheme. I don't know if anybody knows about DAPL. I know, I expect that video to get a lot of British viewers and all who, of course, know this brand. For any of us in the States here, DAPL is doing amazing right now. I don't know if they are, I don't know how old the company is, but it really seems that they've just taken the whole British train scene by storm. They have such, beautiful models, really high quality, and it really seems to kind of cut into Hornby. So this engine, which I'll talk more about in the YouTube video that'll come out, I'm probably going to say this video will come out tomorrow. I'll probably put it out tomorrow because I got it all ready to go. But this engine I purchased from my trip last year from May to June, went to Great Britain and France, and we went to several different railways in Great Britain, and we saw many steam locomotives like this, and I was supposed to pick this up in Britain at a hobby store called Rails of Sheffield, which I'll have to get back there by next time, but they were closed the day we went. So I was really bummed because it wasn't at any of the other places we went. So I just got it a few weeks ago right after Christmas. So this thing, wait till you guys see it a little later. It's got so many cool sound features that I wish all the United States DCC stuff had. So it's a really cool model. But the only thing I wish it had was a little headlamp. It doesn't have it. If anybody knows Thomas the Tank Engine, he'll have a little white headlamp right here. You know, British trains don't have big headlights like American trains do, nor do they have the bells. So I was really hoping at least this thing would have the little headlamp so when I ran it in the dark, you can see a little tiny light piercing out, but it does not really have any lights besides the light that is in the firebox. Let me see if I can, you'll see it a little later. But it's got very good quality. And you know, British engines are all streamlined, so obviously all the pipes and rivets and all that stuff are mostly under, well, I don't know what I say under, but you know, they're a lot more simpler than the looks of, you know, this Reading T1 where it's got all this stuff on the outside. So Dapple still did a very cool thing. Hey, we got Jeremy checking in. Too many hobbies. He says, I'm familiar with some Euro trains data. Yep, this is why I got this engine. I watched Sam's YouTube video on it, and it's actually better than I expected from his video. Because I think one thing I thought I remember him saying was either about the momentum or, I don't know, when he did his video, the momentum looked a little bit rough on his engine. So when I got it here, this thing is probably the best creeper I have. I wish it was like a Norfolk Western, you know, engine so I could call it the Virginia Creeper. So maybe I'll call this the British Creeper, and it's green too, so it's like a creeper from Minecraft. But this thing can go so nice and slow. So anyways, we'll get back to this in the Hudson in a little bit. I'll move on to what's next. Also, you guys will get a kick out of this. I know this is post-Christmas, but I found, for those who also don't know, I love antiques. I watched American Pickers too much as a kid, and this was some of the things I found at an antique store, but you guys will get a kick out of this. So obviously this is pretty cool. This is a Coca-Cola wooden crate, but this is, most people don't know that Coke made seltzer, and then the seltzer that these stores would get, they would mix the syrup in to make the soda. So I can't quite date this, but it's from Bradford, Pennsylvania. So it was too cool. I couldn't pass that up. This was a tin picnic basket, which I found too funny. This is WGY brand, which is a radio station very close to the Schenectady area. So this is a really, they used to make coffee, which I find funny. I don't think most radio stations ever did that. So that was there. I found this neat Amtrak brochure from 1975. Love the artwork. And then you might shoot your eye out with this sign. This, I know there's no expert. Maybe there is an expert in the sign. But this, I believe to be, so again, I've been watching Pickers forever. I know a decent bit amount about porcelain signs, and I had never seen this before, nor does the general world seem to have ever seen this, because this either could be a reproduction or an incredibly rare sign. This is the Daisy Red Ryder BB gun. So for those who've watched A Christmas Story, that's how I got mine. I loved that movie so much as I was a kid, I had to get one. So this is Red Ryder here with the gun, and it says announcing the new Daisy Red Ryder air rifle. So if I remember correctly, the toy gun came out in, I think, 1940. So I would think, and you can see how the light catches the text, right? I don't think a reproduction would be able to get that. So anyways, I really hope that this is an original sign. I've seen some other signs using this artwork, but never a circular sign. You can see a little bit of the back too, you know, the old bracket mounts and all that stuff. And it's very heavy. That is old porcelain. So that is a super cool sign. So if anybody, you know, remembers watching Christmas Story either ever or this past season, you know how much Ralphie wanted a Red Ryder BB gun. I saw this sign and like, okay, this is too cool. And I usually can never find porcelain signs at a nice price because, you know, I'd love to decorate some of these walls with nice signs and all. I know you guys might like the old Coke cooler there. So, yeah, anyways, I'll get back to the trains because I find most people aren't that crazy about things not other than trains, but I'm a man of many hobbies. And then also, again, the car wall, my new love. I love that. Oh, how I love to drive my Buick. Oh, and then I saw this guy at an antique store for $5. I'm like, oh my goodness, this little dude fits perfectly with the planes. So I think that bear's name is like, what was it? Randolph? I don't know. It was like a Build-A-Bear or something. They always have the pre-named names that they'd be like, no, I'm going to name him Larry. But anyways, though, yeah, what do I have next on the thing? Oh, so this is a big one. Calling all O-gauge guys. We're going to have to talk about this. I'm sure, and I know everyone's going to have different answers for this, but I have reached, yeah, right, great DNH, maybe Barry, or maybe there's a DNH name I could put on. Or actually, no, it should be an aviator name, so maybe it's like I name him Charles after, or, well, it's technically not a girl bear, so I can't really name it Amelia Earhart or anything. So, Bear, oh no, maybe I will, Amelia Bearhart. Oh, I'll put a pink bow on its head and it's Amelia Bearhart. Okay, I kind of like that. I mad respect Amelia Earhart. But anyways, the layout power issues. So, for anybody who's been around my channel for a while and you've either watched the streams or watched the videos, or both, which I greatly appreciate, you might notice that when you watch the trains go around, sometimes they're kind of slow when they get to certain corners and all. I know Dad, Roe Edward, which it really should be Rob Ward, but my dad spent so much time when we were originally building these layouts making sure you got the bus wires right. And I can't really remember if we had these issues when the layout first started and all, but from what I can try and remember is that I don't think it had that issue where the trains would slow down certain things. But anyways, though, I would also get scared of power surges. If I remember this correctly, doesn't the ZW transformer not have a way to protect against a power surge or something, or a short or something? I thought I remember reading somewhere that, compared to today's modern transformers and all, if you're going to run modern command control engines, it's not that good to do it with the ZW transformer. Does anybody have any more info on this? Because I've been thinking recently, okay, let's say if you remember this fella, let's say I'm running my beautiful MTH RS11 5002. Well, what happens if 5002 goes over to switch and shorts and now the engine's dead? Let's say 5002 derails and causes a short and the engine's dead. I know part of it's the track, but is another part the transformer for not like, because I know on like a modern, I think, what do they call it? Because maybe I'm starting to think of getting TMCC again, because I wish I never sold it. But I know the, what do they call it? They're like those big command bricks. But anyways, though, I know that those bricks will, if you got it wired right, I guess, will shut off the power to the layout the second it detects a short or a derailment or whatever, right? So the layout that I go to occasionally, club layout, they got it wired great. The second the engine comes off the track or there's a spark, whole layout shuts off. So, you're not risking damage. So, yeah, Ken says, don't run ZW for modern circuit trains. I was almost thinking just that in general. I was wondering, what's the nice MTH transformer you see? The what is it, the Z4000, something like that? That's the problem, though. I hate sacrificing the peers. What's up? I saw a lot of people coming. If you're coming in, thank you. Hello. I saw Connor jump in. Isaiah's here. Gus Hadley coming in, so thank you all for Old Ohio Angler coming back in. So anyways, Z4000. Jeremy, isn't that what you have? I almost thought I remember you having an MTH transformer or Rail King, maybe, I don't know. But I was wondering if I should get rid of the ZWs and upgrade to a modern transformer, that still like has the throttles and that stuff, but has the ability to, I guess, prevent against any sort of shorts and all. So the one thing I hate about that is the Z4000, and I think that, the modern Lionel transformer, I don't know what they call it. It's the big one. The ZLW, the ZWL, I think that's like $1,000. So anyways, I was wondering, should I do that? Because the ZWs, these things only cost $100, $150, and you can run 4 trains at once. And it honestly works great with conventional trains and all, because you don't got to worry about damaging electronics and stuff that are in these modern trains. But then again, I hate to now, I'm too scared to run this thing at the current point, because what happened originally was when I got this engine first, again, this is a Mr. Muffin's custom run. I love it great. It's such a beautiful MTH engine. But the problem was, I was running it around, switched the direction, something happened on the layout, caused the engine to lose power over one set of trucks while the other truck did have power. So I had to return that and get this one back. This one hasn't had the issue, but if you saw the community post I did, and thank you all for your feedback. It was very nice of you guys to let me know about places to repair trains and all. The CSX engine wasn't the only engine in that picture that was out of service. So was the Vattenkill one and the 3021, which both I think had issues on the layout where they either went over a switch or something just happened. They never derailed because, I run those things nice and slow. I make sure try my best with these very nice engines and all not to derail them. Well, that's with anything. I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'll let the post-lords have to derail. But I really try to be super careful with those engines, and I don't know what happened to them. The Bat and Kill engine, 605 is having the same issue the original 5002 did. 3021 just doesn't run anymore. The lights and headlights is able to do that stuff. So anyways, the 3021 and the 605 both fall under the warranty repair, I believe. I knock on wood. I've been in contact with Lionel and NTH, but I don't know what to do to prevent against this issue. It's never caused issues with the conventional trains, but I guess there's something going on the layout that's causing this issue. I don't know what it would be. So I was wondering if a place to start would be getting rid of the ZW transformers and going with maybe these modern transformers. I know even the Rail King transformers are decent, with that little crank throttle on the side. I would have to get a lot of them because, obviously one of those could only power one little section of the layout. For example, I have so many different isolated tracks on the layout here. Let me try to show you. So, for example, the outer throttle here is connected to the outer main. So that gets the original loop, the original layout here, that original loop. This inner throttle here controls the upper loop up there. This throttle on the very right-hand side controls this over here, the inner loop. Actually, I was wrong. This throttle controls the upper half, and then this throttle controls, right after the switch, controls this whole outer loop that connects back through on the outside of the yard and back to the outer loop over there. So it's great for conventional operations, definitely not for command control. So I see a bunch of people recommending transformers, but does anybody have any idea as to what is causing that? I could try ChatGPT, but you guys are, I think, a lot more knowledgeable than ChatGPT is on Lionel trains. But, I've had some decent success answering some very minor train questions with ChatGPT and all. But, yeah, because it's so tricky to find, go in the forums and that stuff and just do hours of searching and all to try and find an issue that people might not even either might have or might not have. So I was curious to hear your feedback. But yes, everyone says the Z4000 and the other one is the ZWL. So anyways, the power thing has been kind of unfun. I know with the next layout I do, and either if I stay here or redo the layout someday or go to my own place and all, I know that the next layout I do is, I definitely learned a lot from making this thing, and I'll try to make things better, of course, in the next one. But I love Littleville. Littleville rarely has any issues. It's all just DCC. That's the tricky thing when you're working with two different power things, AC, regular conventional stuff, and trying to work with command and control. And then, man, it's so tough, too, when you got like TMCC or just Lionel legacy stuff on top of then the MTH DCS, too. So that's the one thing. I don't know if I really will keep this fella because I hate to only run it conventional. I have nowhere to run it. That's in DCS, of course. There's no places I know of that have MTH DCS. I know of places that have legacy that are kind of around here, like friends' houses and all that, but I don't know anybody with a DCS, and I don't feel that this justifies the purchase of getting this net. Although it looks great with the hat, I don't know if this justifies the purchase of buying a nice engine and not be able to even run it with all the bells and whistles and for it to only sit on the shelf. So that's a question I'll have to think of in the next following weeks and all. So, yeah, anyways, I guess, what did I have next? Oh, DNH 4085. So, anyways, for most of you, I know a few of you might follow the Saratoga, Corinth, and Hudson Railway on Facebook. That is the railway I work at, the SCNH. They just announced, I think 2 days ago, this is so cool. If anybody knows of the old Alco in Port Jervis, New York, it's in Erie, Lackawanna, I think, paint scheme right now, but that is originally a Delaware and Hudson RS3, number 4085, built in September of 1952, and we are going to be helping to rescue that engine. So the guys, I don't know if they were down there earlier this week working on it, but also They'll probably be working the next few weeks on it to try and get it operational. It's not going to run on its own all the way up here, but we'll eventually get it all the way up here. I think it'll go to Norfolk Southern, which I said that like a very Norfolk Southern, yeah, yeah. I said that like I'm down in Tennessee or something. But it'll be going over Norfolk Southern, which will then go to Canadian Pacific, and then they'll drop it off at our interchange just north of Saratoga, and that is another RS3 in the SC&H fleet. So that also comes with the announcement of the foundation of the Delaware and Hudson Railroad Railway Historical Society. For those who know, I love the D&H to death. That's what modeled the logo. And then as you can see, I got my D&H cap on tonight. So the D&H Historical Society, as I'll call it. Not to be confused with the Bridgeline Historical Society, although I don't know if those two will merge at some point. But anyways, though, this is a brand new group that is formed, and I can't wait to see the work that they do. I didn't know, actually, that my friend, who's also the engineer at the railroad I work at and a very big historian himself, Brad Peterson, is the president, and I'm pretty dang sure my boss, Hal Raven, has a lot to do behind the founding of this. But it's so great to see another DNA, or just another railroad group come around, right? Everyone says railroad and trains are dying and all that stuff, but what's me? Like, what does that make me? Am I not an embodiment of the young guys who love trains? What does that make half the people in this chat here? I know there's so many young guys in the chat right now who also love trains. So to see another railroad preservation group come around, I can't wait to see what we do. Who knows what cool D&H stuff we can help to rescue and all that. So it is, I will definitely join in the next few days, and I believe membership starts at $1. So I think it's on Patreon and that stuff, and you get so much access to cool things and all. So I wish I had a link to promote it, but that, again, is the Delaware and Hudson Railroad Historical Society. We'll be working this year on getting another historic D&H Alco RS3 back into operation, which will also join our other two RS3s up there. So that'll be fun. And I don't know what paint scheme it'll go in. I think it's probably a split decision between Blue Dip and the Lightning Stripe. I personally hope it goes back into the Lightning Stripe, because that'd be the first RS3 to wear the Lightning Stripe scheme since, I don't know, the 80s, sometime around there, which has been a long time. That was when the D&H was still around. So anyways, I saw Isaiah say, I might upgrade to the new ZW and Z4000, as the ZW I have gets hot quickly and is noticeable when feeling the wires. Interesting, Isaiah, out of curiosity, let's say you're just started running trains now. How long does it take for that thing to get hot? Because I have these things on, but nothing's running, obviously, so they're not really hot at all. I know mine will get warm sometimes after I run them for a while, but it shouldn't get hot quick, like 15 minutes or so. I think that'd be, unless if you got a lot of stuff wired through it, but yeah. Yeah, Phantom Productions swinging it. How you doing tonight? So yeah, I guess I got all this stuff out of the way of the docket. Again, if you're liking the stream, oh, my voice is going. That's not good. Make sure to smash that like button. It is Sunday Runday number 50, so it is a lot of fun. Oh, Great D&H says, I mean, SC&H, I have 3 different D&H RS3s, 1 RS3 for each paint scheme. I wish, but unfortunately, I do not think Hal is planning on repainting the other RS3. Well, 4103... Actually, I have 4103 in the Lightning Stripe scheme on the HL layout. But 4103 and 4118, I believe, are staying in the Tiger Stripe scheme, which I don't mind because that's their as-delivered paint scheme. But I really hope 4085 gets the Lightning Stripe. That'd be so cool. But I'm fine with Blue Dip, too. That was a scheme they wore as well. So Isaiah says that's probably the issue, but then again, I don't have a train table yet. But out of curiosity, Isaiah, how many either loops of track or accessories or lights, whatever that might be, do you have hooked up to your transformer? And does it get hot when you have things running on the throttles, or does it get hot when you just turn it on and leave nothing running at all? Dennis is back again. Yes, very nice to see you, Dennis. Case Fan 03 says, would be nice to see a railfan recon at the SC&H. Yeah, technically we didn't do that, but we did every year they do it. Actually, I don't know if they did do it this past year. I don't think so, but the Alco Technical and Historical Society will do a photo charter on our train. So I imagine they've got to do one this year with all the RS3s we've gotten. So yeah, usually people that are both a part of and not a part of the organization can join the photo charter, where people can go along on the train. It'll take you to different spots. Train backs up, does a photo run by several times and all that. So yeah, I believe they have two different prices. You know, one price for members of the group and then another price for, it was never that expensive though. I think it was like maybe $30, some $35 or something like that, which is honestly pretty cool to get a photo train dedicated, you know, to our train here instead of, oh, well, the SCNH only runs one train this day, so I really hope I get all my spots. So to get to, it was really fun because I think I was on the, yeah, I was on the first one. It's so much back and forth stuff, and I really hope we do more of that this stuff here. If anybody knows of Laro Productions behind some of the most incredible modern day steam train photos I've seen, especially at the Strasburg Railroad, I think his name is Pete Laro, if I remember that right. Oh my goodness, or William Gill. William Gill, I know, is around the area here, but they are both phenomenal. I wish I had like a prop lights and stuff like that. Or I wish I could put together a photo run by and that stuff, but they're always tricky because you gotta try, you know, not only market the event, but you gotta get ticket sales, you know. You can't run this train with only 15 people or something, right? You're not making the money that covers the cost of, you know, running the engine, you know, the diesel fuel, all that stuff. So it's a bit tricky to try, and then also you got to plan for weather too. Sure, it might be, okay, great, we're going to have a photo thing in June, and now it's raining, and now nobody shows up, right? So it's a bit tricky to plan around photo trains and all that, but I love them. They're so cool. And most recently, I believe Laro did, and I wish I knew of it. I totally would have gone. But there was a O. Winston Link photo shoot stuff that they did at the Strasburg Railroad with Norfolk Western 475. They did it in the dark, and it was so cool. And they had the 50s cars and the props and the stage lights. It was so cool. I absolutely love Link's photos. I really got to know his work well, because anytime I get to use trains for a school project, I'll absolutely run with it. And for my art, shoot, I can't remember the name of the class now. It's been a little while. But it was this past semester, I had to do a presentation on an artist that I felt influenced my work, you know, my art and that stuff, my photos. And I was like, shoot, I love O. Winston Link. So I got to put a whole presentation together about him and then kind of use some of the themes in his work to play off of the project I ended up doing for that semester. So yeah, I love Link, and I wish I knew of that. That would have been so cool. But yeah. Isaiah says, I think it happens when I just plug it in whenever I test the trains and accessories. It could be that, but when the train table arrives, I'll probably change it and it won't get hot quickly then, I hope. Yeah, and sometimes too, it could be just the transformers getting old. I mean, these ZW transformers are, you know, almost 70 years old, if not these ones are 70 already. Do they have years on these things so I can actually see when, what was made when? I don't see any. But yeah. Trainman 1993 says, lightning stripe paint scheme would sound awesome. I know, I agree. Dennis says, speaking of the SCNH, do you want to meet up at the SCNH booth next weekend to get those two cars? Figure there's no better place to pass them off to you. Well, I was thinking, or weren't you say, again, for those who don't know, I'll be at the Amherst show. But I'll get to that in a little bit. But Dennis, would it be easier to meet you at the, what was the group you were at? Was it the shoot, it was like the modular group with the N scale. Didn't you say that you were going to be there like all day or something like that? I find it'd probably be easier to just meet you there so you don't have to like, because I don't know what my time schedule is going to be like that day at all. Like, I don't know where I'm going to start and how long it'll take me to get there. So I find it'd probably be easier to just meet you at where you'll be setting up. Case Fan 03 says, speaking of photo charters, Lehigh Valley NRHS is running a photo charter, the Reading and Northern RDCs up to Lehigh Gorge to Staple. That'll be very cool. I believe there's also a group, the Key Lock and Lantern, I think. That might be renting those as well. So Dennis says, oh man, that'd sound amazing. O. Winston Link was a fantastic photographer and sound recorder too. A lot of people forget about the sound recording side of Link's things. It's so cool to pair up the sounds he recorded and the pictures that he did as well, right? Like, this isn't a Link photo, but let's pretend this is a Link photo, right? So the fact that he's got like a 5-minute sound recording of these, again, this isn't a photo, but of, you know, these diesels going by in a scene that can't be recreated anymore, that tracks no longer go by. So cool. One of his most famous images was of Norfolk Western 603, I believe, the J-class locomotive going by the train station. It was Rural Retreat, Virginia. And I did not know at the time that Link did the sounds to it. Or actually, his sounds went bad, and I believe he went back the week later to record or something like that. But it was basically the same exact sounds that was that night. So, to hear the church bells, playing Christmas music off in the distance because it was Christmas Eve, and to hear the lonesome whistle of a Norfolk Western Jay and it getting closer and closer, and then highballing off in the night, it sends chills through my body every time I see it. So if you haven't checked out Owen Sinlink's photography and or his sound recording side of the train world, you gotta see it. It's so cool. Where did I leave off? Isaiah says, speaking of trains, I got some Milwaukee Road passenger cars, the 445 switch tower, the original trestle set, and just yesterday, the rare Lionel, double O Hudson. Double O Hudson. Oh, very cool. Very neat. So, GRP24 says, your transformer should not be getting hot. Yes, to Isaiah. Check your connections and / get it looked at. So, yeah, I think one of the old transformers I had got hot, and I just threw it away. I was like, I don't need this right now. It was something going on with the track and the wires, I think. No, it was the transformer. Yeah, that's why I got rid of it. So, Dennis says, I'll be at the T-Track layout, but in the afternoon, I'll be wandering in the morning at the NMRA booth, volunteering from 11 to 1, then the rest of the day at the T-Track layout. Yeah, for Saturday. So, yeah, of course. So I'd say, I'll probably be at the Amherst show probably at 9. I have no clue what building I'm going to start off in, but I'd probably say we'll probably start off in the Mallory building, the big one and all. So maybe it would be best to meet you there. But yeah, we'll talk about it a little later. So yeah, I guess I got to ask, does anybody here know if you're going to the Amherst train show in Springfield, Massachusetts? It is less than 1 week, and I'm very hyped. I just wish winter break could extend 1 week farther, because I do not feel like going back to school for these next few days. Then they have a big train show and then be stuck in the depressing college grind. Like, I always wish Amherst was just a week ahead, right? Like, why couldn't it be? Actually, it has been sometimes, I think. No, it's never been the 18th or, the teens of January in that time. So I wish it was. Oh my goodness, it'd be so convenient right now. I know for everybody else, if any younger viewers are here who are like, oh yeah, well, I've already been at school back for 2 weeks. If you decide to go to college, the breaks are pretty nice. So I wish my break extended a few days farther, and I'm not going to pull the sick card this week. But yeah. So Ken, if I remember correctly, I want to say, I think Amherst is 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings. So, yes. So, the Mallory building, which I believe is the biggest one, is basically the size. It's a bit tricky to talk about. The Mallory building is as big as the Young building or whatever, the Stroh building, times 2. So really, it almost could be 5 buildings. So it's one super big building, 2 smaller buildings, and then another big building. But what's fun about going to a train show of this size is that almost all of the big manufacturers and brands are there. So it'll be really interesting to see, does Bowser have the D&H RS3Ms? Or what does, I know Atlas, I think, announced some new things. So will they have any prototypes there? Or scale trains or whatever? What will be out of the infamous Lionel 2025 catalog? So I could talk about it, but I won't. There's like a million catalog reviews out there, but it does not seem that the 125th Lionel anniversary catalog was received too well by the O-scale and O-gauge YouTube community. So, but yeah, it's a lot. And you're right, a lot of big companies do announcements around there. So I would say I don't really have anything in mind, just a few small things I have on my watch list, which I'll probably get at, yeah, exactly, Isaiah, which I'll probably get on eBay, because if you've been to Amherst, I said this last weekend, I love this show to death. Those people put on such a good show, the organizers and that stuff. But there are so many people. It sometimes just gets so overwhelming to shop when there's just like a million people huddled around you and you just can't, it just feels like you're rushed to look. And you kind of are from a time perspective. You can't spend too long in a booth or anything, right? Or it's just like, oh, well, I want to look through and try to find it, but I'm just mentally pooped. So I have some things on eBay that I'll probably just get now or whatever instead of trying to find at Amherst. Like, some marker lights or, for HO stuff or maybe some tables or some little scenery things and all. But it's probably just going to be looking around the show, getting some pictures with the good camera, maybe a few video clips I could put on YouTube and all, but just enjoying the show, saying hi to anybody that walks up to me, of course, or saying hi to friends there, of course, or meeting new friends. I know there's a few businesses that I've looked at that I'd like to talk to in person about projects and that stuff, like, train painting services or DCC decoder, that stuff and all. So, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see the Lego guys again. And I hope Alex is there with his blue comet. So, yeah, we have Ash. We have Ashton Studios Productions checking in. Well, thank you for swinging in tonight. We got John Train BFGR saying, say hi to my friends at the Otter Valley Railroad while you're there. Yep. Oh, yep. No, very well. Their store is in my area here in Ontario, Canada. Yeah, I know. It's crazy how far some people will travel to attend this train show. That shows you how good it is, at least in my opinion. So, yeah, hopefully lots of you people are around the area and get the chance to attend. I know there'll be times where I watch people from, like, the West or Midwest who are like, you gotta head to the train show, yeah? And it'll be like, I've never heard of this show before. But I think most people, at least in the Northeast, know of Amherst. So I'm sorry to keep promoting a show that some of you might not know, but it is a very good train show. It's probably one of the best in the United States, in my humble opinion. So Dennis says, that's why I'm so glad I'll finally be there the whole weekend this year, LOL. However, I'll be busier. Yeah, I know, exactly. You will be. But that's kind of the fun, though, too, getting to run your trains at a big train show where so many people get to view your trains and all. Like, again, I know of several people in the area around the capital region, young guys. I wish I could make a youth O-Gauge or just HO train club and all, right? Because I find a lot of the times, people like myself before I got into a train club, it can kind of feel, I don't know, like you don't belong in a train club sometimes when you're the only young person there and everyone else is like 50 years old and plus and all. Nothing against the old folks. I love you guys so much. And you guys have some of the coolest. I'm making you sound like seniors now. I apologize. I was going to say, you have the coolest stories ever, but you guys know so much. And for us young guys coming up in the hobby, it is so important that we try to learn these model train traditions from you guys. But it is also a lot of fun, too, getting together with other guys, us young guys in our age to talk about how we got into trains, running our trains, all that stuff. So I had put together on Adobe Illustrator, I had planned a whole modular post-war themed train layout, or just, just an O-Gauge train theme layout where I wish, that's the thing, because they're out there. There's young guys in this area who like trains. I just haven't met them yet. Or, they might not have YouTube, or they might not know the channel, or they just might not feel comfortable about reaching out, right? Or just might be too far. I mean, there's a million things, right? But I wish I could be the one to put that together. I'd feel so happy to be kind of in charge of the youth model train club, right? Like, I'd feel, my grandfather would be so happy to see me reaching out like that and doing stuff like that, because wouldn't it be so cool to bring these trains together to a train show with other people too? So like, all right, you can run your stuff for a little while and then we'll put mine on and have fun. Like, for example, when I had my friends Tanner and Jamie over a few weeks ago, it was just so refreshing to have people, around my age into this thing here. It's just so much fun to, I don't know what it is about it. I don't mean to be ageist or anything, but it is just, I don't know what it is. It's just chatting with young guys, talking about our fun train stories, what we want to do, because we haven't reached that point yet where, I've kind of already built the dream train layout, but they haven't, they're just starting. So to help them with the layouts and that stuff, if I get the chance, or guide them along the way, I really wish I could do a capital region, I don't know, young guys train club, something like that, right? I think it'd be a lot of fun. So anyways, I don't know where I left off. So yeah, Old Ohio English says it's a little too far to travel for that show. Yeah, That's a long drive. But I do know some guys very rarely. Hey, Ed. Hey, thanks for swinging in, Ed. That's Happy Valley Hobbies swinging in. I know you'll definitely probably be at the Amherst Trade Show. But I know some guys, I think, from that Midwest area who are traveling out to this show. But I know York gets a lot more people in because it's just a little farther west than Springfield. Especially a lot of the big O-Gauge YouTubers and that stuff. So... Dennis says, yeah, I've been working on weathering so much stuff. I think I saw you do a stream the other night, right? I've gotten like 4 decoders installed in the past few weeks and generally everything getting ready to run. Again, Dennis, I wish you did a business. People would genuinely pay because you do very good work. Matt says, that would be awesome. Is Alex there at Amherst with his blue Comet set? I know, I hope he's there. So, hey, we got Rabs Trains checking in, saying sup. We'll sup right back in. I had supper earlier. So what is that? Oh, come on. There's one comic character. Not like comic book, but, comedian, I think, who wears his hat around like this. I kind of look like a baby, right? Or it kind of looks like I got cool hair, right? So, or like I'm a welcome to the youth train club, bro. It's the DNH, man. Or now it's like the 90s when people would wear their hats like this. Oh, bad hair day. But I'll wear my hat around like this for a few seconds. I've seen guys in the 80s who wear their hats like this, chewing tobacco, sitting on the old drugstore steps with a tank top on, or working on the railroad. I've seen some people wear their hats like this. Those guys are the hardened railroads, just like, yeah, you can ride. Well, sure, your kid want a 40-mile ride, you can come back, yeah. So, Rabs Trains. Corey, what area of the U.S. do you live in? I live in good old upstate New York. I can't really see the snow anymore, but it is snowing outside right now. So, Rose Jewel says, us old guys need to get younger guys to explain how to run newer stuff, trains, internet. Well, we kind of grow up with the modern stuff, we're used to it, but now the newer stuff that's coming out, I'm experiencing the same stuff the millennials did 10 years ago, right? It's always that same generational thing where the Gen Alpha kids who know this stuff well today, 10 years from now, be like, man, I don't know how to do this, right? So, but it got really tricky once somebody decided to put Bluetooth and Wi-Fi in model trains. Dennis says, on a completely different note, how much snow are you getting up there? I think we're getting 3 to 6 inches somewhere like there. So, yeah, about the same as you. So, Ed says, yes, I will be there, planning on going to the YouTuber meetup at Midi Prince. So, Thomas Train says, Corey, I have the first original Lionel Big Rugged Train well, that's a mouthful. The original Lionel Big Rugged Train Century Club Hudson. It's made of resin, metal wheels, and made in 1999. Okay. So... LGR says a construction marketing company in Nashville, Tennessee is looking for people. They might need a graphic designer. Oh, thank you. Too bad it wasn't a railroad, though. I'd be right there. I want to be the train graphic designer guy. Isaiah says there is the how-to videos by TM Books, at least with TMCC and Legacy. Yeah, I know. That sucked losing Tom McComas and Britt Allcroft not that long ago. So a lot of iconic people in the train world gone. So, anyways, I've been here long enough. Again, if you're liking the stream, you know the drill. But I think it's about time we at least get the Hudson running and some of the other New York Central trains on the layout here. If you haven't noticed, I'll show you guys what we got running tonight. So, way up there, we have the RS3 8223 in the inner loop, and then the New York Central FTs over there. We got here... New York Central 773, brand new to the collection here. I cannot run the 8600 tonight because the problem was I had this thing set up to an extremely long drag of freight cars, and I had nowhere else to put them. So I pushed them all in the tunnel, and you'll see them on the other side too. You can see the little car and the flat car over there. So we won't be running the center loop, but you'll make it a little bit easier. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to put the camera down for just a second to get the trains going, and I'll lift it right back up to you guys. So I'll be right back. You'll start to hear the trains going around. Yeah, the first things first is getting the Williams engine in the right direction here. Because last thing I want is this thing to go off the layout. All right, doing good. All right. I hope that I got everything good, set up good. So I'll show you guys the 773. A little bit about it. Again, 2008 locomotive by Williams. Picked it up off of Facebook Marketplace. I rarely get trains on Marketplace. So saw this. Owner was a super nice guy. Let me get it at a better price than he was asking. And I'm in love with it. And it looks so good pulling the stainless steel cars. I don't think you'd see a 773 pulling those, but you know in the post-war era, some kid or dad was running around a 773 with these cars. I think it looks sharp. I know you'd see the 773 with the Madison cars, but for some reason the Madison cars all the way over there do not like these switches. They can only go in a straight line. Drunken Pug, hey, thank you for swinging in tonight. Got the 773 running here in the New York Central FTs and the RS3 over there. So it became New York Central night. I do not have a New York Central cap on. I take Ed as in the community post I did looking to fix that locomotive. Not yet. I've reached out to Lionel and MTH directly about different locomotives in the collection. So I'll try, and I'll be looking around at Amherst too. But a lot of people have recommended the, I believe it's the Train Doctor, which seems to be pretty good. I believe the stream is still live. I mean, it could be pre-recorded. I don't know. Wouldn't that be the biggest plot twist in R's Train's history? I somehow just planned my answers ahead of time for the 50th stream. Again, if you are here, just coming in, this is the 50th Sunday RUNDAY. So, a special little anniversary. So I might I'll probably celebrate it next week, assuming I can get around to doing a stream. Which I don't know if I will, because I lose Saturday to Amherst. So I might need Sunday for homework. Actually, maybe yours might be a little heavier than mine can, but I guess you'd call them Bud cars, because they look like cars built by the Bud company around that time, but these streamlined cars aren't that heavy. Now granted, I had this really long freight load in here. Maybe I could get the Hudson to pull it, but I'd have to do some switching. Yes, it is, Gus. Actually, no, yeah, just Saturday, Sunday, but Friday's the setup day. Kind of wish I was there Sunday, because that's always the deal day. Rab's Train says, I have a F3 1954 post-war, the Texas Special, one motor. Will only pour, yeah, I've seen some of those F units, the Texas Special ones, I think, with the only one motor, and that they're not the best of pullers. I wonder if traction tires would help. Oh, well, maybe, does it have magnet traction? Maybe. Uh-oh. No. Sometimes that, it did derail. Uh-oh. Oh, look at that. I told you. Well, that's the problem. See, the ZW transformer does not shut off when there is a short. So that's why I would like a modern transformer, I don't know, some way to either put in a kill switch or, I don't know. What came off? Oh, I can see it's those front wheels there. Yeah, so for some reason, the 773 isn't the biggest fan of these fast track switches. I think it's the coming from the drivers, but the thing is, the drivers have very small flanges. I thought that it was like picking on the frog here or something, as it was coming up and over. So, oh yeah, that would make sense, but it's not doing that. So it seems that it's still not on. For some reason it rocks a little. So I'll bring it back on the other side. It's good now. We'll see how it sits on a flat piece because sometimes those curves are warped. And also for some reason the FT's stopped too, which I don't entirely mind. Oh, never mind, there's only one FT. Yeah, thank you, Gus. Yeah, no, it doesn't rock here. That's the other thing too, what I like is I can run this fella nice and slow. But I'll set it up for the main. I just have to make sure it's not going too fast. All right, I think it's good. I'm sure somebody will suggest a night run. Oh yeah, it needs a little bit of power going around because this is a very tight turn for this engine. But I mean, look at those drivers. Aren't they beautiful? Yeah, I guess I have to give it a little more power on this end. And you too. That's gonna come back to bite me bad. It's gonna jump the second it gets over there. I'm watching it carefully. So it speeds up a little. Okay, I think it's good there, but yeah, it's always been something about this has always been the slow corner for some reason. But it is a very tight curve for an engine like this. A scale engine, that is. And now it's going too fast over here. Oh, you gotta love ZWs. Okay, I think I got it set right. And see, the RS3 is doing fine. All right, Trainman 1993, have a good night. Oh, I guess I'll turn that off too. Oh, am I having bad quality? Seems good on my end. Yeah, so if you're an O-gauge person and like your conventional trains, if you ever have the chance, try to get a nice Williams engine. They're very good quality. I'm very impressed. And of course, Dad got the GE sign working. So now it looks even better, because New York Central would have ran right by the General Electric there. Oh, there you go. You can see the snow outside. Of course, Gus, because I don't have a command control on this layout. Yeah, you can see a little bit of that firebox glow. The iconic night run. It's a lot thicker than it looks on camera. I love watching that headlight come around. Please don't derail, please don't derail, please don't derail, please don't derail. Thank you. Oh yeah, especially when both observation cars go by at the same time. That's pretty cool. Ah, dang it. I was like, is the train going to hit the top of the phone? Yes, it did. I'll try this. You can get a better tunnel shot. This is what the layout used to look like before everything got painted, so everything's still original under here, as in, undecorated completely. So you'll see some of the bench work. Assuming the Hudson gets here. There it is. So yeah, if you ever do a tunnel, make sure you have a way to access inside of it. I can pull these bricks apart here, and that gets me in case if there's a derailment or something inside. Yeah, I'm thinking it's just that one little corner over there, Ed, because the rest of it seems to be pretty good, actually. On the outer loop, that is. I know the other loops, it's a bit tricky with the fast track, I tell you. I did the whole fast track video on it. One of the big complaints is you're very limited as to where you can tap the rail because of the plastic base underneath. Oh, to think of all the Hudsons that had to travel through the snow. I tell you again, this is always one of my favorite shots right here. You can see the train come around, the one winding around up there, especially with passenger cars too, and it lights up everything. A lot of people forget there's a gas station here. Ed, that is a question I do not know because I'm not much of a New York Central person, although you think I would be because of all the New York Central stuff I have on the way out. Maybe they had some way to keep those track pans warm. Kind of like a switch, how they douse it in kerosene to keep the points from freezing over. Yeah, that is a very good question. I like that the RS3 is going at a nice and slower speed, like it's a slow local freight train. And again, really this would be like 40 miles per hour if this was scale. Because, 1, 2, 3, 4, going over a crossing, that'd be quick. Ravage Trains, we were talking about Transformers earlier. I was looking at a Z4000 by MTH. But yeah, does anybody know about the Z1000? Yeah, the reason I had that there, Dennis, was to cover up a nasty mistake I made when taking the shell off. So you can't see it with the wreath on. Oh, Ken, this is real. I got this for $100. This is a authentic 6-foot crossbuck, probably from the 60s. I love it, so cool. I think it came from, what's that railroad in Mass? I don't know. That's what I hate. I hate it when railroad antiques and stuff lose their story. Because who knows the crossing? There's no tag on it or anything. So who knows the crossing this was at? And all the cool trains this thing could have saw. But yes, got a great deal on it. So I don't think you can, Ed. Maybe you'd have to have 2 little separate track pans. And yeah, I got that crossing at Amherst and had to carry it around out the show, and everyone's like, "Ah, look what he got." I really wish there was another. I get it. Sometimes I wonder, oh, should I mount this outside? Put it on a post. But I think it looks best in here. It really complements the layout, and it keeps it out of the elements too. Because it's not like one of those modern signs where it's got like the built-in, I don't know, neon reflector things. And then, yes, the Ford tailgate's original, too. Does everybody like my Battenkill Railroad track or my Pan Am track? Oh, come on. I'm trying to get the phone to stay still. There we go. That's the one thing I dislike about Fast Track again, too, was the track loved to move up and down over time. Everything's screwed to a wooden board, but it's that carpet in the base underneath that makes it look like I'm running on Penn Central track. Those passengers would not be too happy about their shaky ride. And really, that's any type of track like this, with the road bed already built into it. It's gonna go up and down if you put it on a carpet. So. Let's see, will the camera shake? No, not at all, surprising. In the little R's Trains Rail Fan Park. And just like the rail fans, we're waiting for a train. I think maybe 1 or 2. I don't have too many of the 6464s. So that's a very interesting question. And I want to toss that one back to the chat. What do you think I am? More of a O-gauge person or HO scale? I would almost say HO scale. I just love the more realistic proportions, but I've got so much into O, how could I not love it? Honestly, I love both for their own different reasons. So I kind of hold them equally. O a little bit more just because, I've got a lot of family into it. But then obviously HO is like, oh, it's so cool and scale, and oh, I love the DCC. I love watching those drivers go up and down. They're so big and long, too. Again, let me show you. Let me show you something. You, get back here. You on the inner loop. Get over here. Please don't hit the caboose. I know it's right there. And I hit it. Okay. I'm going to try to do a size comparison here. No, you shouldn't be on. This is the difference between a scale and not scale Hudson. Just look at the size difference. I mean, I could almost place this dude on top of this. I mean, it's such a big, it's crazy. Please go nice and slow over the switch. Thank you. Have a good day. And then I can park the RS3 right next to it. Boom. So does my dad run trains? Very rarely. I am the train kid. It skipped right around him. It was into my grandfather, which was his father. He played with it when he was a young kid, you know, the Lionel trains and stuff, but then got out of it. And then I'm keeping the tradition going. Dennis says, in my mind, you're an O-scale guy with the love and desire to get more in H scale. Yes, exactly. Almost couldn't have worded that better. And yes, I'm nostalgic. Really, you're right, Ed. If it's got 2 rails, I like it. Any scale. I'd love to get, yeah. No, Dad's technically certified. He's just, maybe his license has expired on running these things. He's got to do his engineer's test again. But one thing, I wish I could get into is S scale. I love the old American Flyer. It complements the old post-war. Well, I pointed. Technically, it's post-war, but it's not a real post-war. But complements the post-war train so well. You know, they got that same classic toy train look. And I love the little chuff-chuff sound those things make. So, and what's nice about S scale again is since it's smaller than O, you can squeeze it down so you can kind of fit a decent amount of track size onto a thing. I wish, dang it, there's been times where I see on eBay or Marketplace people selling Flyer for really cheap. Or I wish I just knew somebody who had a bunch of old Flyer trains they didn't want anymore. Because I would love to make a tiny town version or a Littleville version with American Flyer track. You know, maybe do a double loop or a little bit of a bigger town with a little switch and that stuff. So, yeah, but anyways, what else was I going to mention? There was another model train. Oh yeah, I was going to mention this. I'm not a big fan of it, neither is my mom, but I just wanted to run by you guys. So, the thing is, I'm sure some of you guys have it, the feeling to always wish you could constantly expand your train layout more and more. Well, anyways, what happens is this. The basement here, as you can see, has a lot of ins and outs and ins and outs. So I can't be like most where you can build the layout around you. But there was a way I always wished I could have a way to stage trains better. Or let's say this thing, right? I like this train, but I don't want to fit it. Or I don't have, I don't know, either room to fit it there or whatever. I don't want to disassemble a thing. Or let's say I want to display some of the freight cars. I know Mom doesn't like this, and I'm on the fence, and I can understand Dad too. But I was wondering because originally, you know, the layout used to end here for any old subscribers of the channel. Thank you for sticking around. If you remember, the old layout ended about here, so only that loop went by the rocks, and that was it. None of this existed, so I wanted a way from trains to get up there to there, and as well as the little yard there. It feels like ever since I did the upper loop, everybody on layouts has now been doing upper loops on YouTube. All the big trainers like, oh, I gotta do an upper loop. And I'm like, did I create this trend and I just don't know it? Anyways, though, I was wondering, you know, the shelf here, or, you know, the counter, whatever you call it, is so close to the height of the upper loop. I was wondering if I was to take out the GE building, put in a switch that would run along here, run to the side, and then you can easily fit 2 tracks here that run the entire length of the shelf. which would be a great way to display more equipment. And or let's say I'm putting together a train, or let's say I'm done with this train, I'm just going to run it up there, back it up the loop. Now I've got a great way to display it. Like for example, I know I wish he was here, but Steve Kofrel did it with his layout where he had like a little sitting room next to his layout, or I guess a little lounge area, and he built thing off of his layout to act as a little staging terminal yard. So again, there's something I wish I could do kind of like that, just as a way to store more cars, or I don't know, whatever. But then again, none of this stuff that's on the shelf here has anywhere to go once I take it off of this. I'd either have to build a new shelf, which I'm not crazy about, or find some other way to display all these little trinkets and railroad artifacts and that stuff. So that's the tricky thing, was when we were originally putting the layout together, I could have done where I built the layout around, but it's once you start building things and building it around that original plan, then you start making, I guess, permanent changes and all. So, yeah. But anyways, though, I just thought I wanted to hear your feedback on what do you think about that idea, or maybe if you see anywhere else, maybe in this little room, or just a short little addition to act as a little yard just for staging more cars. Because I hate it when I got so many cars on this thing and there's nowhere to put them. So, yeah. But Isaiah says, still interested in American Flyer. Oh, absolutely. I love the old Flyer, but I know nothing about it. Dennis says, I might have to get in touch with you. I've got a friend looking to get rid of a bunch of F-scale stuff. Well, if it's old Flyer, hit me up. Although, I'm about to spend all my money I have left at Amherst. So, if it's something I got to pay for at this current time, I might not be able to take it. Maybe got Brian Rock Rail fans swinging in. Thank you for coming on in tonight. Sunday Run Day number 50. So always good to talk. I always love talking trains with you guys. You all are my community. Dennis says, you just need a single track around the wall, then have an elevator to hook up to your wall displays. That'd be incredibly hard. Gus says, you got me wanting a upper loop, but ain't got the energy for it. Yeah, it is a relatively big addition. John Train BFDR says, just do it. It'll look great. I don't know. I wish there was room on the other end or something. See, I'll walk it through you. I'll walk through you. Whatever. Coreyism. Anyways, when we were originally doing the layout, the old layout was supposed to be over here, and this was supposed to be a little sitting room, which didn't make sense because we have a sitting room over there. Like, okay, bring out the layout more. Problem is, I love this bar end, and I do not want to get rid of it, nor do I want to push it out. Because at one point, I was thinking, before I put the bar in, it's like, okay, what if I expanded out the layout even farther to touch this wall, to where you'd kind of have to go underneath it or something, or let's say 3 feet ledge here, right, as a way to get around it. Well, now that screws with the couch, and that screws with the bar. So when you start making these things in and not or people might say, oh yeah, you got plenty of room to expand here, but I don't want it to be tight or anything. I know guys who've got really tight layouts, and they're fun when you have multiple people over, which isn't very often here. But when you have people over, or just, it's nice to have the space to walk around. It can get a little bit congested. There was only another time where I was like, okay, well, what if I did, let's say this door goes as far to the Ford sign there. So like, well, what if I did like a little stub end here? But you could store, 5 cars there? It's not worth it at all. Maybe if I did like a little engine shed, that'd actually be kind of cool. But it's tucked away in this corner. You can't see it from over there. Well, you can't see it when you come down in. So that's just the thing. I wish there was a way to display more cars, because I see these guys have these super cool rail yards and all. Wow, I guess the Hudson was going so fast and knocked the trees over. But, you see these guys with cool yards and stuff, or I've got extra fast track I hate to just get rid of. But it's probably just me in a phase, which it's not a phase, Mom. As many kids have said before. So, yeah, because I know other people be like, oh, well, what if you had a track cutting through there? Well, then I lose the warehouse. So, I don't know. It's tough to make an addition onto something like this when it's been down for such a long time. So, Littleville, however, you totally could make an addition on, but I wouldn't do that because, again, you lose room to display stuff. So, Isaiah said, yeah, I agree, Ed. And the thing is, though, we've got a relatively big basement compared to most guys, right? But it's because of the windows and stuff, because the ground was so low that made it like, oh, well, if you're going to do that, you might as well have it a finished basement instead of just the concrete walls with no insulation. So, 'cause, lots of people, I'm sure many of you guys, if you do have a basement, your windows might be all the way up here. So you've got a lot of wall space, or you might not have all these ins and outs. That makes it, and all these doors, it makes it impossible to build anything on this side, nor would I have anywhere to put the car stuff. But yeah, it'd be too many drawbridges and all that stuff. It's just so annoying. So, anyways, the original layout that used to be here was a lot bigger. It used to go from this corner here all the way out to about here, pretend this line of the chair is about where it went to there. Then it went in, went out, and then came out and probably ended right about here. So it was in the shape of a horseshoe just about. And that was the original HO scale layout that was here. Hey, we got Charles Train swinging it in. We had 8/5741 Productions also in too. But I missed a few messages. Brian Rock says, could you have gotten in, could you have a building that O-Track go into? I mean, I suppose. Oh, well, as you can see, I use HO. I could use, I do O. That's about it, though. I don't have any N. Well, actually, I do have one little N scale car. What scale are the trucks? What trucks are you talking about? Because there's a lot of car-related things down here. Ken says, I might just build a long, narrow pocket on the edge to help with staging. Yeah, it's just not really a place for that. See, what I could do, but I don't want to do, because then that screws up everything. In theory, honestly, you could expand the layout another 2 feet. And you could have a switch run off there, and you have 2 long tracks, but they're boring. Nothing's going on. It's just 2 long. Well, it would be 2 long tracks up there too, but it's just, I don't know, it kind of gets in the way. Because I know the next layout that I build, whether that be here, once I decide to settle down here and stay as this being my forever home instead of my parents' home, or go to my own place, I'm gonna purge these layouts and start from the ground up. Hey, we got Devon McKenzie swinging in. Thanks. Nice to see you tonight. Oh, this stuff. Well, it's quite a bit. We've got the Tonka trucks, which really aren't a scale at all. Most of these die-cast cars are 1/18 scale. These are all over. This is Lego 1/18th. I think 1/24th. Got no clue what you are. Nah, that's too big for a Volkswagen bus. A Volkswagen, but could you get away with it? Almost. I think it's too big for O. It's not. They don't even have the scale thing written on the bottom of this. That's how you know it's. See, look how big that is next to the Plymouth. A Volkswagen bus. Or a Volkswagen was definitely not that big compared to a Cadillac either. But the problem is it almost works. So what I could do is this. There, and it can live down there. So anyways, I don't know what scale that was. These are like Hot Wheels. Oh, I don't know. Again, they don't have scales on half this stuff. Yeah, you might be right, John. Gus says, I got into a Facebook group 4x8. Smaller road gauge layouts, my 2 layouts 4x8, 4x6. One of the house, which is my main cave, and the yard barn is 10x16. Yeah, I've got the 2 other layouts, which will be coming out soon. Tiny Town 2 and Tiny Town 1. So maybe I can try to get both to the Chowderfest at Saratoga this year. That's the only time I can set those up. So, yeah, I get so much miscellaneous car parts, but I love it all. I love my cars. I love cars dearly, especially my Buick. And I got the manual right next to it, too. The 1955 Buick. Oh, they look good together. So, yes, this is basically my dream car. I've always loved Buicks, especially the 55 and the 56. I love the paint on it. You know, that chrome line, it just goes down, and then the wheel's like, no, 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 not yet. Yeah, brings it right back up. And it looks good with that radio, too. I love red and white or red and black. Obviously, that's what I designed the channel colors after. So, anyways, I think I'll turn on this little British engine for you guys. Let me get the box off the layout. Again, sorry, I do not have a tripod this time to set the camera up on, so I'll try my best to hold it. Volvo's was my dad, LGR. I don't know when he got it, probably in the late 80s or something. And that was when he had his Volvo wagons there. Let me try, can I put it here? All right. I love this engine. The gradual movement, all the different sounds. Now I gotta find it. Where'd you go? In the brake, yeah. Oh, let's see if you can see the fire. I'm sorry, folks. Again, I don't have a tripod to put this thing on. I gotta try to do this with my eyes at the same time here. Don't know what that did. Come on. Oh, there it is. So you can see a little bit of that glow and fire in there. Well, yeah, Dennis, if I had brick buildings, then it basically would just be... Well, you know, British towns have such elegant sounding names. You wouldn't see Littleville over there. Maybe be like Hamleysworth. Littlesworth. Let me get it back on this side here. No, Dennis, this is Dapole. Although, yes, I do know Rapido makes British trains too. Also, I wish I had another one of these. Why do these have to be 150 bucks? I would love another NCE throttle so I could put it in here and then have two on at the same time. I cannot find these for a good price. And I doubt there will be any good priced ones at Amherst either. If anything, they'll be jacked up a bunch because people know that they're in demand. So yeah, it's really when the throttle revs up is that the engine gets loud. When not, it kind of coasts. Hamletshire. I like that. Because that's basically Littleville, but British. All right, well, have a good night, Trainer 97. Thanks for swinging into Sunday Runday number 50. Little on the Ville. Little on the Ville. Yep, there's a lot of towns named like that. Wonder how old the on or the names come from, you know, because you don't see that here in the States at all with, like, let's pretend Binghamton on the Marsh or whatever. Mechanicville on the water. Hudson on the water. Newcastle upon Tyne. Let's get it to pull these freight cars. Let me bring them over. So we got to assemble the whole train here. So let's see. I'll bring these back. I'll bring the North York Moors wagon out. I'll bring the wagons out. Great. Flip that switch. Castleton. Yeah, I know. That's because that's got an old name. Bring those there. Oh, it got a little bit heavy. I know, Castleton on Hudson's like closer to the British. All right, and then let's slowly bring this train out. I gotta be really slow because these cars do not like the switches. You think you'd be like, oh, well, why not? You know, they're so short. You know, I think they go over them fine, but the problem is, pretend this is a truck. Not a car, but just a truck. That's a wide truck, you know, that can't bend that well. So, and again, like I said earlier, this is at speed step 10. This thing is a phenomenal crawler. Look how nice and slow it can go. It's not jittery. Dapple did again, amazing job. I really wish they did a United States line. I would buy from them easily. This thing was only $200. I talk about it in the video, which will come out tomorrow. This thing was only $200 or pounds. That is a great deal for a steam engine like this with all these bells and whistles. Oh, I see. I told you. Get back on. Like I know, for example, there's a new DCC company or the train company that's starting, at least I think they're new, and they're doing the Canadian Pacific GP20s. You know, the engines that go by, the GP20Cs. They just had to raise their price. Oh, what just happened? Stupid caboose. Oh, well, technically, this is not the caboose. Come on, come back. But anyways, though, they had to raise their price, I think, from $310 or $380 for a DCC sound diesel. When I got this nice, brand new, you know, these things are not even a year old for 200 pounds, which, you know, equates to not that much more in the U.S. because the pound and the dollar, I believe, are pretty similar about this point. So amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. Annandale on Hudson. So, yeah, Dapple has so many other good locomotives at nice low prices. So if they're like this, I will definitely get another. Next year, hopefully you can get back over to England next year and maybe pick one up in person. Let me speed it up a little. So when you hear the, if you watch the video tomorrow, definitely make note of how good the sound is on this thing. Like I have a lot of up close clips and you can really hear how good that sound decoder is. So it looks so good. But it's so interesting how, and that's what I don't get. How come 00 scale trains are 176 scale, yet HO scale is 187th? But in theory, right? Don't us and the Brits have the same track gauge, 4 feet 8.5 inches? So whose side is wrong? Does that mean the Brits' engines need to be scaled down smaller, or do ours need to be scaled up? Like what is, because I know British engines are smaller than American engines. You know, this steam engine would be shorter than Elco 5. I put it next to it and it's taller. So I'd always wondered that odd question. Or maybe they are the same, I don't know. But something just doesn't add up. Train tracker, no, never have, and don't. I've seen a big boy, but not, you know, the 4014. I've seen the one at Steamtown. Interesting. That makes it even more confusing. Well, for some reason, this car keeps deciding to come off, and I just lost the whole half of the train. No, come back. No. Well, interesting. If that's narrow gauge trucks, because already if you look at these, I shouldn't have even taken this off. You know, if you look at these, Those wheels aren't that narrow compared to the body. Well, maybe they are. Maybe they do go out wider in real life. Yeah, I think they do. But still, wouldn't that mean this body size has to come down in size to be accurate for HO scale? I'm just going to put these over here because it'll take me so much time to try and put those back on the track. I went to Paddington Station. I'm sure that one's famous. Yeah, so this little hopper keeps coming on, or not hopper, this little wagon keeps coming off every time around this bend. Still don't get it. I still don't get it. These things should be smaller, but oh well. I don't understand. So that means, yeah, we got the. Oh, I also, if anybody's watched Mr. Bean, this is a 176th Mini Cooper. Mr. Bean's Mini Cooper. All right, well, have a good night, LGR. Thanks for being one of the first people to even pop in. Whatever will happen to Mr. Bean's Mini Cooper, it'll probably be very boring. On a second thought, I'm not even going to do that. Mr. Bean can watch from the inner track. So I'm like, wait, if something happens to that and that goes off and down to there, that's not too good. And we just lost the other half of the train. Well, I'll put that there. This car's got a lot of play. And then this brake van comes off every single time. Something to do with those funny flanges. Then you come off. Great, everybody else made it. But it is fun to switch, I tell you, moving these tiny cars around. I can't remember the lyrics to the Wabash Cannonball, but it'd go well with this song. Listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar. Really, there is no roar because it's pretty quiet. Yeah, that'd do it too. What can I say? Mr. Bean knows how to get around. Oh yeah, you wouldn't see John Deere over there. So that makes the scene a little bit off. Oh, well, now you're making me hungry, Phantom. It's been a little while since I've had a taco. And again, such nice gradual momentum. Well, I guess I'll get the camera back over here and we'll get wrapping things up for tonight. I'll have to clean up the layouts another time. There we go. So nice. So no more wobbly camera. Feels so good. But let me get a quick swig of water. That's much better. But anyways, yes, I think it has come to that time. So thank you all for watching yet again. Oh, well, there you go. Wait, Isaiah's got it. From the great Atlantic Ocean to the wide Pacific shore. Oh, I thought it was white Pacific shore. Wide Pacific shore. From the great old Smoky Mountains to the Southland by the shore. She's mighty tall. I wish I could do it with that Hank Snow accent. She's mighty tall and handsome, and nobody will bow. She's a regular combination on the Wabash Cannonball. But yeah, again, thank you all for watching. So, had a good time, of course, celebrating Sunday Runday number 50. So, hopefully you can maybe do something next week to celebrate. So, yeah, anyways, I guess keep out on the lookout for those 2 no videos coming. I'll release the one on the British engine this Monday, and maybe the one on the 773 next Monday as a way to kind of keep something going on. So, yeah, I guess, shoot. Besides that, I think you got all pages. Oh, well, thanks, Dad. Yeah. Problem is, I owe you money anyway, so it's going right back to you. So, oh, dang it. Colin came in right at the very end. Well, hi, I guess hi and bye, Colin. But, yeah, thank you all for sticking around. Had a good time as always. And hopefully I see some of you guys at the Amherst train show. I'll be dressed up in my SCNH attire, so I might not look, I won't have the R's train shirt on or anything. But if you see me, feel free to say hi. If not, that's fine too. Sometimes I always found it a little bit, I don't know, a little tough to muster up enough energy to go say, oh, hi, I watch you on YouTube, or whatever. So, yeah, have a great night, everybody. I will see you all in the next video / live stream / whatever I do. Hopefully we'll have the next Sunday Run Day next week, but college will be starting, so not sure how it's going to go with the workload and all. Only time will tell. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, no, I knocked it over.